So welcome, everybody. So Peter and I are with the Awaken Company, and we ignite the fire within leaders, within our relationships, and within organizations. And we are passionate about helping people to achieve their potential. And so I'm with Peter McCoppin, who is a member of the Awaken Company as well. He has been a former symphony conductor and a national broadcaster. So, Peter, we're talking about conflict. And I know you have a model that you'd like to present to everybody.
Exactly. So I think just first, why does conflict arise? I think it's a clashing of perception. So we might have just a very simple scenario. We have two people in a company, one very senior, one very junior. The senior says, "Oh, I'd like to mentor you," thinks that's the good intention. The junior receives that as, "Oh God, I don't want to be micromanaged." So it's a clash of perception. Is that your general feeling about that too, Catherine?
Yes, and it can also sometimes be just a clash, and that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's okay.
And I think it's just so important to be able to have the skill to resolve conflict. Why do you think that people avoid resolving conflict? What would be your opinion to that?
Well, you know what, Peter, so I'm just going to be upfront with our audience. So last week we had a conflict on conflict, and Peter and I, we asked for a redo. So sometimes it's just a different kind of, as you were saying earlier, Peter, we had a different perception of time and of what we were trying to cover. And
Exactly.
Yeah. So Peter, but what's
so in a conflict,
point? I want to hear about the coin.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I want to hear about the coin. You were going to share the model because I have two
Oh,
other models that I want to present.
So I think the thing is, people would resolve conflict more readily if they just had a simple model. And a simple model, easy to remember, is simply this: COIN, C-O-I-N. Behaviors are typically repeated, and it's in that repetition that they become more irritating, we'll say, to the recipient. So you say, here's a context within which a behavior has occurred. Here's my observation as to how you respond in that, how I respond in that, and how we respond. The I would be, what is the impact of that behavior on, because the person perhaps is unaware? And more especially, what would be the future implication if we don't deal with this? And then finally, what are the next steps so that we together will find a way to move forward constructively, collaboratively. COIN, easy to remember.
And Peter, what I really like about the coin is it's easy to use and easy to remember. And also, for example, let's take the real life example of last week when we were in conflict about conflict. We can use our I language in coin. So for example, I am feeling, I am thinking, my preference of behavior is. And whenever we use the I language, it then puts the onus on us because we can't project how the other person is feeling in conflict. They may not even know that we're in conflict. So I really like a template of I'm feeling, what I'm noticing, I'm thinking, my preference of behavior is. And within that COIN framework, I think it can be used. The other frame that I really like to think about is the victim's, the drama triangle, whether we're a victim, a villain, or a hero, in terms of just reflecting on which role we're playing. Are we being the person who's kind of being more aggressive, being the villain? Are we the person who's being the victim, being hurt? Or are we the person diving in to try to be the hero to save? So I really like that frame too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And all three of those work so neatly together, all the three of those models. This is, yeah, absolutely superb. And I think the thing is for all of us really to examine our own thoughts, really to go deeply inside, to increase in our self-awareness, and to make our needs known. Because how can anyone know what we need unless we first declare it? And to do so very graciously and then generously as well.
Well, thank you so much, Peter, for our 5 minutes on conflict, for our redo, which I think we're modeling. Because
thank you for our redo.
Because to improve our self-awareness improves our performance. So Thank you so much, Peter, and stay tuned for intrinsic motivation.